Hey guys, Coach Mark. Hey, let's talk about perseverance. You know, in this life, we deal with things, we deal with people, and we deal with circumstances that might not be favorable for us. But if we decide and if we purpose in our hearts that we're going to persevere no matter what happens, it's all going to be okay. If our mindset is like Romans 8:28, he says that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and are called to his purposes. If we have that mindset and we understand that we're going to make it no matter what happens, no matter what comes against us, no matter what enemy, demon, devil we fight. Sometimes those devils are made up in our minds. Sometimes we want to blame things on the devil and it's us being stupid. I'm guilty at times. To pay the stupid tax is not fun, but it's worth it. And it's very needed in our lives. If you don't pay the stupid tax in your life, it means that you live a life of boredom and just monotony. But if you get into some things and you do have to pay the stupid tax, it's okay because you learn from those things. But perseverance, getting back to the perseverance part of it, when we face adversity, how are you going to deal with it? What are you going to do? How are you going to deal with adversity if you don't have a plan? And by plan, I mean, what are your anchor points? What in your life is your set point where you can fall back to? What in your life can you fall back on? What tools in your toolbox can you use to get through? You know, if you've never had any adversity and you get hit by a tidal wave of trouble and you don't have the ability to persevere, you're going to drown. It's that simple. We can only hold our breath for so long when we get hit by the waves of life. And we have to build capacity just like we do in the weight room, just like we do cardio-wise. We have got to build capacity that we can handle whatever comes our way. We live in a world that is screwed up. We live in a crazy, crazy world right now where up is down and down is up and inside is out. What are you going to do for you? Because honestly and in reality, no one is going to fight for you like you will. No one is going to take care of you like you will. Because when the rubber hits the road, when everything happens, when calamity comes, when this world falls apart, everyone is going to be fighting for themselves. And you can't help anyone else until you know that you're settled and set for yourself. Just like when we're on an airplane and the stewardess says, hey, in the event of the loss of cabin pressure and this little thing falls down, take care of yourself first because you can't help somebody else unless you're helping yourself first and are able. Same with this world, with where we're at right now. So many people think that if tragedy came that they could help somebody else, that they could stay strong in the moment, that they could persevere. I'll tell you my personal story just this last week. In this last week, I have had a tree come down and destroy 2 of my cars. It ripped the power off of my house. I was in the dark. I need a new roof. I need a new siding. And my cars weren't covered. Then I have the city come in and tell me that they're going to take my driveway because they are expanding the road. And that I have to live now in a property that only has 1 entrance to its driveway when I've had 2 entrances for 75 years. How do you persevere through that? How do you deal with that? What do you do? What is your mindset that says, I'm going to make it through? Because again, I believe and I know in my heart of hearts that just as Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for good. So if it's not good, it's not over because I win. I will win regardless of the situation. Even if the city comes in and says that they're going to tear down my house, I still win because I have breath in my lungs, I have perseverance in my heart, and I have the determination to make it and to take my family with me. Now, I could have fallen apart. When we came home on Sunday and that tree had squashed my wife's cars, I could have fell apart. The stress level could have went through the roof, and I could have lost my mind. And there was a time when I was a man that would have done that. The anger that would have boiled up inside of me, and I'd have probably done some damage to some other things too. But instead, I have a man named Jesus who lives inside of me. And it's through the power of sweet Holy Spirit that I get to be a beacon and a light to those around me, because it's just stuff. It is just stuff, and whatever. You can have everything physically in my life. Take my house, take my cars, take my money, take everything. As long as I have my family, as long as I have my health, and as long as I have a will to fight, there's nothing that I can't overcome. And it's the same for you. There is nothing in this life that you can't overcome if you'll purpose in your heart that it's going to be okay. It might not look like it. It might not feel like it. And you may have stuff just heaped and crapped on top of you day after day. But in the end, if you'll keep your head, if you'll keep your heart, and you'll keep your perseverance, it's gonna be all right. I promise you. And if you need me, call me. Come see me. I will give you the peace that I have.